Heroes of Nepal भन्ने सिरिज किन लिएर आयो त? यसको उद्देश्य के हो, यसको मकसद के हो भनेर हामी सबै जान्न चाहन्छौँ. So I'd like to start off from that point. Being a Nepali, as you all know, a very proud Nepali, मैले यसो विचार गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हामीले भिजिट नेपाल 2020 भनिरहेको छौँ र संसारलाई नै बोलाइरहेको छौँ नेपाल हेर्नलाई. विचार गर्नुहोस् त यहाँले नै उहाँहरू किन आउँदै हुनुहुन्छ त नेपाल? एउटा त हाम्रो प्रकृति र भगवानले दिनुभएको हिमाल, पहाड, खोला, नाला, गैडा, बाघ यो सबै हेर्नलाई आइराख्नु भएको छ भने अर्कोतिर चाहिँ जुन हाम्रो पुर्खाहरूले हामी जन्मिनुभन्दा धेरै अगाडि जो संसार छोडिसक्नु भएको उहाँहरूले बनाएको मन्दिर, दरबार, स्तूपा, इमारतहरू हेर्नु आइराख्नु भएको छ. हामीले के बनायौँ त संसारलाई देखाउनलाई? विचार गर्नुहोस् त. What have we made? What value have we added to this wonderful country we call Nepal, our home that we are also proud about? And that's where we all got to thinking. यो बनाउने कसले त भन्दाखेरि बनाउने त नेपालीले नै हो. बनाउने कसरी भन्दाखेरि हरेक नेपालीमा आफूमा एउटा आत्मविश्वास आउनुपर्छ कि मैले गर्न सक्छु भाइ. I can do something. Whether you're a banker, a doctor, an engineer, a teacher, an artist, a mountain climber. Doesn't matter what you do, but you must have the confidence that I can do it exceptionally well. I can do it better than anybody else. I can be a hero of Nepal. That is what this program is all about. You heroes भन्ने पनि यो प्रोग्राम गर्दाखेरि मान्छेहरूले हामीले निर्मल पूर्जाजीको नाम लिँदाखेरि हैन धेरै मान्छेहरूले धेरै नामहरू दिए. उहाँ पनि हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँ पनि हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँ पनि हुनुहुन्छ. त्यो सबै नामहरू एकदम राम्रो नामहरू हो, नेपालको हिरोहरू नै हो. तर उहाँहरूमा एउटा चीज चाहिँ कमन थियो. उहाँहरू सबैजना मेरो उमेर या मेरो भन्दा बढीको उमेरको हुनुहुन्थ्यो. फेरि कुरा त्यही आयो, पुर्खाले बनाएको चीज देखाउनु अहिले वर्तमानमा भनेर. त्यसो गरेर मात्रै नेपालको भविष्य राम्रो हुँदैन. अब हामीले हिरोहरू पनि बनाउनु पर्यो, नयाँ हिरो बनाउनु पर्यो, युवा पुस्ताका हिरो बनाउनु पर्यो. उहाँहरूलाई पहिचान गर्नु पर्यो. We must recognize them, we must reward them, we must applaud them. And when we were thinking of who is this sort of person that we can start this series off from, this amazing man, Nimsdai, did the unimaginable. He climbed 14 of the highest peaks in the world, over 8,000 meters, within 7 months. अब त्यो inhumane human achievement को हामीले कसरी प्रोत्साहन गर्ने, त्यसबाट हामीले कसरी सिक्ने, ऊर्जा कसरी लिने त्यसबाट? We all started to think about that, and that's where this program came into. Not only those of us in this hall, but those of us who will see us live, who will see us later on in YouTube, सबै नेपालीहरू, प्रान्त 1 देखि प्रान्त 7, हिमाल, पहाड, तराई, नेपालमा बसेको नेपाली, संसारभरि छरेको नेपालीहरूले चाहिँ यो हेरेर ऊर्जा गरौँ कि म पनि नेपालको हिरो बन्न सक्छु नि त. म पनि जे काममा लागिरहेको छु त्यो गर्न सक्छु नि त. I too can do and excel in whatever it is that I am choosing to do with my life. That is what Heroes of Nepal is all about. We plan to make this a series. It's not just one event, it's a movement. So that we bring a whole host of heroes. ताकि नेपालको गाउँ-गाउँमा कुनै कुनामा या नेपाली जहाँ चाहिँ छरिएर बसिरहेको छौँ उहाँले यो हेरेर वाह, हेर एउटा नेपालको छोरा या एउटा नेपालको छोरीले यस्तो पनि गर्न सक्यो, म पनि गर्न सक्छु नि भनेर. हामी एउटा सपना लिएर अगाडि बढेको छौँ, समृद्ध नेपाल, खुशी नेपाली बनाउने भनेर. तर समृद्ध नेपाल, खुशी नेपाली बनाउने हो भनेदेखि नेपाललाई आज निर्मलजी जस्तो हिरोहरू चाहिएको छ. देशको धेरै ठाउँमा, धेरै क्षेत्रमा अन्धकार छ, उहाँहरू एउटा त्यो अन्धकारमा उज्यालो ल्याउने दियो. तर आज हामीले के देख्छौँ, उहाँहरूले 14वटा यो एकदम गजबको शिविर समेत गरिसकेपछि हामीले ओ निम्दाई, निर्मल, पूर्जा भनेर सुनेको छौँ. तर आज हामी यो पनि जान्न चाहन्छौँ कि उहाँको जिन्दगीको सफर कस्तो थियो त? उहाँ कहाँबाट कहाँसम्म यहाँसम्म पुग्दाखेरि के भयो त? त्यो पनि हामी जान्न चाहन्छौँ. We want to learn from him, we want to be inspired from him. But I put to you, however much inspiration you get from him, unless you follow that with some perspiration, there will be no good that will come out of it. Therefore, whatever we hear today from an amazing person, inspiration to me and to, I'm sure, to a lot of you, please make sure that you take that to heart and see how can I utilize that in my life? How can I put some perspiration behind this inspiration to make me a bigger, a better hero of Nepal. किनभने 10 वटा हिरोले नेपाल बन्दैन, 100 वटा हिरोले नेपाल बन्दैन। जब हरेक नेपाली नेपालको हिरो बन्छ अनि नेपाल बन्छ। र त्यसको सुरुवात आज हामी यहाँ गर्न प्रयास गरिरहेका छौँ। हामी हाम्रो सम्माननीय प्रधानमन्त्रीज्यूलाई हेर्छौँ, मन्त्रीज्यूहरूलाई हेर्छौँ, राजनीतिकहरूलाई हेर्छौँ, कोही अरू हिरोहरूलाई हेर्छौँ, यो भन्छौँ, उहाँहरूले चाहिँ गर्नुहुन्छ, उहाँहरू एक्लै कोहीले केही पनि गर्न सक्दैन। हामी स्पष्ट हौँ र अरूले गरेर हाम्रो नेपाल जुन चाहिँ एउटा समृद्ध नेपाल बनाउने सपना छ त्यो हुँदैन। त्यो साँच्चै नै समृद्ध नेपाल बनाउने हो भने हामी सबैजनाले बनाउनुपर्छ। Each of us has just as important a role, एउटा परिवारमा जस्तै। And this gentleman, Nabil, has shown us that anything and everything is possible. Impossible भन्ने उहाँको शब्दहरू बाहिर छ। त्यो बेलासम्म impossible हो जुन बेलासम्म कोहीले गर्दैन त्यसपछि त possible हो। 100 मिटर्स 10 सेकेन्ड भन्दा कममा मान्छेले दौडी नै सक्दैन भन्थ्यो, आज त्यो भइसक्यो। म्याराथनको पनि 3 घण्टा भन्दा कम भन्थ्यो, त्यो पनि एकदम ब्रेक भइसकेको छ। सगरमाथा कोही पनि चढ्न सक्दैन, त्यो पनि चढिसकेको छ भनेदेखि आज यो 14 वटा हिमाल चढेर उहाँले देखाइसक्नु भएको छ कि मान्छेले चाह्यो भने केसम्म हामी गर्न सक्ने रहेछौँ त भनेर। What can we actually achieve if we push ourselves to do it? That is why today, give NIMS, give the heroes of Nepal a few hours of your time, a few hours of your thinking, of your mind, so that together, each of us individually will know that there is nothing that is impossible for us, individually, institutionally, and nationally. Today we, the Nabil team, are here to get inspiration from NIMS as well, just like you are. Like NIMS, I am sure there are hundreds, if not thousands, of Nepali sons and daughters who can give us inspiration. But not those same names that you have heard again and again, right? School पढ्नेदेखि नै उहाँको त प्रेजेन्टेसन युट्युबमा हेरिरहेको छु नि, अनिलजीको त यति वर्ष भइसक्यो, अब पुग्यो, अब नयाँ हिरो चाहियो, अब यहाँहरूको जेनेरेसनको हिरो चाहियो, अब यस्तो हिरो चाहियो जुन चाहिँ हिजोको कुरा गर्दैन, अब भोलिको कुरा गर्छ, त्यस्तो हिरो अब नेपाललाई चाहिएको छ। And that is what NIMS is. For me, this man is an inspiration of what physically, emotionally, psychologically a man can do. I have met NIMS twice, today being the second time. त्यो पहिलोचोटि हामीले जुन 15-20 मिनट कुरा गर्यौं, जुन बेलामा उहाँले उहाँको जिन्दगीको कुरा गर्नुभयो, then I thought I have to bring him to all of you. Because मैले पनि NIMS चिनेको चाहिँ 14 वटा मौरी यस्तो 3 दिनमा यो त्यो भनेर, तर मैले बिर्से NIMS एकजना कसैको कुनै बुवा मुवाको छोरा हो, कसैको श्रीमान हो, कसैको हैन बुवा हुनुहुन्छ उहाँ आउने दिनहरुमा। He is a family man, he is a man just like you and me. And what all did he have to sacrifice to make himself this man which the world looks up to now, a Nepalको छोरा। हामीले यो मात्रै देख्छौं, तर त्यो मुटु भित्र के भइरहेको छ, त्यो दिमाग भित्र कति पीडा छ भनेर आज हामी बुझ्छौं। यो किन बुझ्नु एकदम जरुरी छ भनेदेखि, in your lives, in my life, in all our lives also, we will have ups and we will have downs. हामीलाई खुशी पनि हुन्छ, हाम्रो आँसु पनि आउँछ। उहाँहरूलाई हेर्दाखेरि कहिलेकाहीँ हामीले खुशी मात्रै देख्छौं, तर जति उहाँ कठिनाई उहाँ त्यो बाटो गुज्रेर यहाँ पुग्नु भएको छ, त्यो हामीले बुझेपछि जब हामी हिरो बन्ने एउटा जुन यात्रामा चल्छौं, जुन बेलामा हाम्रो आँखाबाट आँसु आउँछ, त्यो बेलामा उहाँको आँसु पनि सम्झिन्छौँ र भन्छौँ, वाह, त्यो पनि गरेको थियो है उले, म पनि गर्न सक्छु। I can sacrifice and move forward just like he did. This is a series. Nabil Bank is committed to bring several heroes of Nepal, young heroes of Nepal, because Nabil Bank is committed to the youth of Nepal. आज Nabil Bank हेर्नुहुन्छ भनेदेखि यहाँहरुको बुवा मुवाहरु धेरै जस्तो Nabil Bank को ग्राहक होला. But we want to make sure that you too feel that this bank is a bank that we can bank with. Because Nabil Bank को भविष्य उज्जवल बनाउने हो भनेदेखि आज Nabil Bank हाम्रो युवाको भविष्य उज्जवल बनाउनुपर्छ. And that is what we are here for today. And सबभन्दा यो अन्धकारमा उज्जवल दिने एउटा बत्ती दिने उज्यालो दिने निर्मल जी हुनुहुन्छ. But I don't want to take more time, and I would like to introduce somebody who will introduce to you NIMS Dai or Nirmal Purja. I would like to ask our very own Miss World Nepal Shrinkala ji to come into the audience.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us in such short notice. किनकि धेरै टाइम थिएन हामीले जुन न्युज सर्कुलेट गर्दा र आज इभेन्ट हुने टाइमसम्म, but I'm very happy with the turnout, and whoever are present here, these are the actual people who actually want to hear the story of Nimstai and who actually want to be inspired by his story. म चाहिँ धेरै Nimstaiको achievement भन्दा पनि from my perspective, I want to show to you how big this achievement is भनेर. Around 9 months ago, Nimstai मैले चिनेको पनि थिइनँ. In fact, he was very unknown to us किनकि he worked for the special forces हैन, British special forces मा. अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि they are mostly undercover, okay? And this one very important fact that he was the first ever, he's the first ever Gurkha to make it to special forces in the 200 years of history of Gurkhas being a part of the British special, the army, British army ma jane Nepaliharu madhe 200 years ko history ma he was the very first Nepali man to make it to the special forces. That news was not really well circulated because the nature of the job itself is such that he's mostly undercover, and that's why we didn't really know about him much. But 9 months ago, Nimstai, WhatsApp, I got a call from him. And Shinkhala, hi, I left my job to do this. And I mountain chornu sa, 14 highest mountains in the world, like 7 months ma chorne target gareको छु. And the previous target was around very close to 8 years. I could not really contemplate how big this was. Kinaki mountain somewhere you can't really get it in your system. Ki yo chai katiko garo kura ho, or yo bhaneko kurako chai importance or significance kati thulo ho bhanne kura you can't really grasp it. But just that comparison, that history of mountaineering mai haina, 14 of the highest mountain chorne record chai 8 years थियो, but now it is 7 months. He's targeting for 7 months. This fact alone was very intriguing for me, you know. And then I had recently come back from Miss World, and one thing I knew very strongly that public support really matters, and especially when you are planning to achieve something impossible, which Nimstai and his team had planned to do. त्यो चाहिँ मलाई थाहा थियो कति चाहिन्छ सपोर्ट र एउटा आफ्नो कन्ट्रीको सपोर्टले चाहिँ कति बुस्ट गर्छ भन्ने कुरा I did realize it. And I was looking at the trending of Nepali YouTube, and I didn't really like how it was growing. I didn't really like how हामीहरूले चाहिँ कस्तो कस्तो मान्छेहरूलाई अगाडि बुस्ट गरिरहेको छौँ. For sure, there are good talents that are coming forward, but there are so many unimportant issues that we love to talk about. We love gossips, हामीलाई चाहिँ negativity मन पर्छ. यस्तो कुराहरूले trending मा space पाइराख्दा I felt like someone जसले चाहिँ यस्तो ठुलो कुरा आँटेको छ के होला नहोला, it's up to their capability. लकको कुरा हुन्छ, कति कुरा हुन्छ हैन. प्लस माउन्टेनियरिङको मलाई नलेज पनि थिएन, but just this fact alone that आँटेको छ नि त, आँट्नु नै ठुलो कुरा हो. Believing is the biggest thing भन्ने कुराले चाहिँ it really touched me. And at that moment I thought, okay, what's the strongest aspect that I have on social media here, and I wanted Nepali people, whoever follow me through social media, to at least know about his project and know who Nimstai was. Slowly but surely, Nimstai's project started taking shape, and the 7-month window finally khulyo, and then he started his climb from Annapurna. त्यो बेलामा अझै पनि Nimstai was not getting that much of support and hype that he was supposed to get, but he kept on climbing. And I remember this one very particular thing. WhatsApp मा म चाहिँ त्यति धेरै एक्टिभ हुन्न थिएँ हैन, but Nimstai ले चाहिँ अन्नपूर्णको टपबाट स्याटेलाइटबाट फोन गरेर के गरेर he had called me रहेछ, and I had missed his call, and that really touched me because यति सानो support गर्दा पनि it meant so much to Nimstai किनकि he really needed Nepali people's support at that moment. And we all know we are here to celebrate his achievements, his physical capability, this extraordinary, almost superhuman capability that he has shown. I really want to bring into light that Nimstai is mentally even more stronger, and he has really pushed himself mentally to get here. I remember that चाहिँ ओर्लिरहनु भएको हुन्थ्यो माउन्टेन्सबाट अनि he would be at base camp. I can't even imagine how tired or fatigued he must have been. That he would be constantly on WhatsApp and on his satellite phone trying to arrange for funds for his project. किनकि पैसा नभए त केही possible छैन अनि नेपालमा honestly speaking त्यो हाइपै पाइरहनु भएको थिएन. He wasn't really getting the space that he should have got. अनि त्यो टाइममा he was really struggling. Plane ticketsहरुदेखि लिएर कसरी म्यानेज गर्ने यताउति भन्दाखेरि बेस क्याम्पमा बसेर लजिस्टिक्सहरु हेरिरहनु पर्थ्यो के निम्स दाइलाई. He was the administrative of his project. He was the heart and soul and brain and muscles, everything he was doing in his power to get where he has gotten today. अनि हामीले चाहिँ I think त्यो अझै पनि कन्टेम्प्लेटै गर्न सकेको छैन के. Recently I climbed a very small mountain compared to whatever it is in Nepal. Western Europe's highest mountain चढेको थिएँ अनि that was the moment when I really had this huge respect. कि मेरो चाहिँ जति respect थियो नि नेपालको mountaineers or mountaineers around the world को लागि, it just grew exponentially के. किनकि हिउँमा त्यस्तो altitudeमा in such harsh conditions हैन, just 4800 meter mountain चढ्दाखेरि त I felt like I was dying at that moment. And then I realized, oh my God, these people, whoever are climbing it, they are legends and we need to give them the respect that they really deserve. भनेर मलाई एकदम हिट भएको थियो त्यो टाइममा. त्यति सानो माउन्टेनले पनि it had given me this big realization about how challenging our mountains are. अनि त्यो altitudeमा त्यो air conditions, wind speed, त्यो सबैमा to achieve what he has achieved is truly superhuman. I can't even put it in words how big an achievement this is. And while I'm standing here, I want to respect Nimstai for bringing the mountain glory back to Nepal, because look back into the history. Sherpas are always the back force for whichever team is leading the mountaineering expedition, but they do not really get the recognition or the respect that they deserve. किनकि उहाँहरु सधैँ back seatमा बस्नुहुन्छ के. They fix the ropes, they climb the mountain beforehand, they set all the ways for the climbers, but Sherpasहरुले चाहिँ त्यो recognition नै पाउनुहुन्न, sadly. But Nimstai and his team, the all Nepali team, did the impossible, which I want to remind all of you. पहिला चाहिँ when he started out on this journey, सबैजनाले चाहिँ laughing stock भएको थियो के. यो 7 महिनामा 14 वटा माउन्टेन चढ्छु भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ everybody laughed at it. I even talked to some Nepali mountaineers and they said it was impossible. कसरी यो possible हुने कुरै हैन है. It's impossible without taking special drugs. And त्यो गरेर पनि possible नै छैन. They could not even get it into their system that someone is trying to do this भनेर, someone is trying to set this record भनेर. But he did it. He brought the mountain glory back to Nepal where it deserves. नेपालमा if Nimstai जस्तो आँटेर हामी सबै शेर्पाजहरुलाई हामीले बुस्ट गर्न सक्यौं, हाम्रो नेपाली कम्युनिटीले चाहिँ माउन्टेनियर्सहरुलाई त्यो रेस्पेक्ट, त्यो प्लेटफर्म, त्यो रिसोर्सेस दिन सक्यौं भने I think जति पनि माउन्टेनियरिङ रेकर्ड्स छ नि, we can easily get that back home. हामीले नेपालमा फेरि ल्याउन सक्छौं, तर we are not really doing enough जस्तो लाग्छ के मलाई. And I really want to thank Nimstai for doing this project and coming to Nepal, leaving his job, leaving his whole life behind him after secure life थियो. He was in the special forces. 6 वर्ष कि 7 वर्ष extra काम गरेको भए he would have gotten a pension that would last him for his life. But he left that because he knew Nepal needed him and he had that extraordinary potential in him to do this project. And standing here, again, I can't stress on this fact enough that Nimstai is a superhuman. I mean, I don't have any other words for him, and I have immense respect for him, for Mingma Dai, for the entire team of Project Possible who brought the mountain glory back to Nepal. And this is such a big boost for all of us who can't dream big because people say your dream is too big for you. People dream, people like ekdam thulo cha. People are so easy to shut it down. Okay, and हामी dream गर्न पनि डराउँछन्. But then there is this man who has set up an example for us. चाहे भने त हुने रहेछ. 100% dedication, effort चाहे भने त possible रहेछ नि हैन. And we have to realize that things could have gone drastically wrong. his life was at stake, his whole financials were at stake, but thankfully, with good luck and with good efforts, nothing bad happened. But he made it look so easy for us that we could not even contemplate how big it was. But whoever are present here, we could, and we are here to hear his inspiring story. And there's one last thing I want to say before I leave. There are people who dream big, and जसले dream पाएपछि they are so satisfied with it that rest of their life they are happy with the dreams that they have achieved. त्यो एउटा ग्लोरीले चाहिँ मान्छे खुसी भएर लाइफ बिताउन सक्छ. But then there are people like निम्सताई जसले चाहिँ impossible possible गरेर पनि he does not settle down. 7 महिनामा 14वटा माउन्टेन चढेर फर्किने बित्तिकै he went back to his job. Elite Himalayan Adventures भन्ने उहाँहरूको कम्पनी छ माउन्टेनियरिङको लागि, अनि he straight went back to guiding. एकैचोटि गाइड बनेर फेरि he went to Amadablam. दुईटा expedition सकाएर yesterday he came back at 3 p.m. and at 5 p.m. he was ready with a presentation to address a similar crowd as ours. So you can imagine the level of mental strength that this man has. Especially I can say from my experience of climbing a very short and easy mountain. I'm stressing on that fact, but त्यहाँ चढेर फर्केपछि म 3 दिन चाहिँ म थलै परेको थिएँ कि मसँग फोन हेर्ने पनि मसँग एनर्जी थिएन, मेसेजेस रिप्लाई गर्ने पनि एनर्जी थिएन. But then there is this man जो बेस क्याम्पमा बसेर he is so actively involved in all his logistical त्यो कलेक्ट गर्नको लागि, मान्छेहरूसँग PR मेन्टेन गर्नको लागि he never leaves a message सीन गरेर रिप्लाई नगर्ने भन्ने हुँदैन कि he is so active in all ways, and I can't even imagine how he gets that mental energy to do that. And I really want to thank Nimstai for coming here, for giving out his very precious time to inspire us. And without taking much of your time, I want to invite Nimstai on the stage with a big round of applause. Please, can you please stand up while you come to the stage, please? Nimstai, welcome.
Thank you.
We love you and we respect you from the bottom of our heart. Thank you for whatever you have done for the mountaineering community of Nepal, and thank you for being our role model and our inspiration.
Thank you so much for being here today. I thought I would just take a few seconds before we start the real presentations. Yeah, so good to see you all. I think, thank you for being here, guys. We'll practice. When people say that I'm doing this for name and fame, guys, give me a break. I have served 16 years in the British military, 6 years with the Gurkhas, and 10 years with the British elite forces. I was the first ever Gurkha to pass the selection for a special boat service, okay? For those who doesn't have a clue, it's like in a real kind of, in a James Bond kind of a shit, okay? While I was serving in the special forces, I had made a solo rescue from 8,450 meters. I had climbed Everest on my leave. I still had those 3 world records while still serving in the British military. Nobody knew about it. Okay? And this was pure of my job situation. I had only 6 years left to get the full pension, which means I could have retired at a very young age, sat in the chair, still would have lived a comfortable life. Just bringing things into conclusion, this project was never, ever, ever about me. Okay? If it was about me, probably on the day, I would say 3 of me struggling to raise the fund, I would have given up, honestly. Just to put things into perspective for you guys here, 16 years in the British military, 6 years to retire. That's what I have done throughout my career, okay? And to change from what I did into this completely different field, of course, people wouldn't have the confidence. So what I'm trying to say here is, guys, if there's something that in your life that you want to do it and you believe in yourself, it's never too late to change stuff. Right? We'll crack on with the presentation, guys. Who is that good-looking guy? When I first ever talk about this project, guys, I'll tell you a little bit of this story. My first plan was to summit all the top 5 highest mountain in 80 days. Okay? I spoke with my unit within the Special Forces, thinking that I could get 80 days off. At first they said yes, then they started looking into the whole of the mountains, and you know what my boss said? Nims, you insane, you know? In K2, 1 in 4 dies, in the Kanchenjunga is exactly the same, and the defense couldn't take this risk. And I said, fair one. You know, I went, I resigned, okay, from my job. The only tough decision for me was, you know, I am a loyal soldier. For me, the question was not about whether I could do this or not, but for me, it was about, have I done enough for the Gurkhas with the Queen and the country? And I thought, you know, I have been in the war for 10 years, I survived, I have been shot, and I thought, yes. The answer was yes, so I left it. The project had 2 strands. One was the operational planning, which was my expertise and my bag. The other was fundraising, guys. Only 3 months prior to the expedition, I knew that there was 0 fund in the project. You know, I still had the chance to go back into the service. I was offered, you know, promotions, I was offered different jobs, etc., etc. But it's not about that. And again, it goes into the point, this project was never about me. At this point, I had no followers, nothing, not social media. People didn't know about who I was, even though I had done pretty cool shit, okay? And whenever you go to these sponsors and all, you know what they say? First of all, they will say, how is this possible? The previous record is 8 years, and you're gonna do that in 7 months? You know? And just to be honest, probably for those who haven't climbed mountain, probably they will say, yeah, he's in Special Forces, he can do it, etc., etc. But specifically from the mountaineering world, they made the joke out of me, you know? And my bottom line here was, guys, one can give only 100%. That's all what we can give in life. I'll tell you my routine was, I used to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, okay? It used to take me 2 hours to do one Instagram post because I didn't know all this hashtag, etc., etc. It was absolutely crazy. Then I used to take a 7 o'clock train to London, meeting with 3, 4, 5 people, depends upon the day. Come back home, quick dinner, maybe half an hour, follow back emails, never went bed before midnight. And this was continuously like that for 3 months, and 90% of the time people would say, Nims, fuck off. Or they said, Nims, the project is too big, too risky, we can't be part of this. Or they say, Nims, the previous record is 8 years and it's done by some legendary mountaineer. How could you even imagine? Anyway, long story short, I sold my house, okay? Put the whole money into the project. The project is obviously is massive, so that's not enough. But my thing was, as I said, one can give only 100%. I was said, okay, I'll go with my teams. If the fund run out, I'll be climbing alone myself. And on the point where you know that you had enough, then you will withdraw back. But what you know is, before you go to bed, whatever it is, as long as you can put your hands in the heart and say that, Nims, you have given 100% and it failed, then there's a peace, right? So that was the ethos. And some of my, through special forces, you have, some connections and all. And my friends used to say, Nims, why next year? Next year you go, there's another, you have got 12 months to prepare, to raise the funds, but why are we looking into second options? And I said to him, you are in the position to sponsor me, but you are straightly going into the second easier option. You don't want to solve it here, but you want to do it next year, You know what, guys? The second options or easy option is always in your pocket. You can take it whenever you want it. So the point here is always go for the first option. I think I'm getting a bit on with this story. I'm going to keep it a bit short. We move into the next stage.
Names Mingma David, this is Dao Sherpa from Baskin.
The rescue you have seen is the rescue of Mr. Chin. Bear in mind, guys, who had submitted Annapurna, which is ranked as the world #1 dangerous mountain in the world. Okay? It's been only 3 hours, we're at the base camp. Mr. Chin was reported to be lost in the mountains for more than 36 hours. We're in the bed, 6 o'clock, the heli came in, and they were like, Nims, this guy is alive. And Migma is there. Migma, stand up, bro. I'm going to introduce him a bit later, guys, but we'll just move on with this story. And he was there, and we jumped into the helicopter, and what we saw him was, he was just waving his hand. So what does that mean to me and Bremen Project possible? The project for which I left my job, sacrificed my pension, sold my house, struggled all the way through all the shenanigans of raising the funds. But you know what? Nothing is more important than human life. That's in my opinion. I've never left my comrades behind in the war, and I was never going to do it on the mountains. So So four of us, me, Migma David, Gesman and Galden, from where we got dropped, in that long line to where he was, on the summit day, it took us 18 hours. On the rescue day, we did that whole length in just 4 hours. We're competing like Usain Bolt in Yes, we brought him down. He was alive. Unfortunately, he passed away in his home country. But for us, we did everything we could to save his life. But the impact of that rescue to the project was crazy. Okay, we missed the weather in Dhaulagiri. Okay, but if we had to wait for the good weather in Dhaulagiri, then we could have missed the weather in other mountains. So what we did was we climbed Dhaulagiri in alpine style, no sleep for 4 nights. Normally people summit 8,000 meter peak before midday. We summited at 6 p.m. Okay, and I'll tell you this story. We were just about above Camp 3 in this slope. The visibility was new. And again, of course, the project is mine, the vision was mine. But then I have a team guy, right there who are also risking their life to make this mission happen. And for me, it was a bit unfair. So I said to my guys, I was like, hey guys, look, the weather is absolutely horrendous. We're still here, Honestly, it was crazy. And I said to this guy, if you want guys, we can withdraw. Because, of course, life, takes the priority. And they know what this guy said. Names, fuck off. Let's crack on. Yes, and that was the attitude, guys. Okay? And what it tells is the whole team member, they wanted to make it happen. Right? And this is the true example that if you wanted to make it from here, and if you understand the bigger vision, you are a team. You make shit happen. We submitted like 6 p.m., descend the whole night. Next morning, we got the helicopter. I must say that, we partied till midnight, and we got into the helicopter, no sleep for 5 days now, straight into Kanchenjunga base camp, and went to the summit post. Summited. On the way down from 8,450 meters, we found 2 climbers. Okay, they ran out of oxygen and all. We gave our oxygen and we started rescuing. Another 100 meters down, we found another climber. Okay, so now me, Migma and Gesman are out of oxygen. I'll pause here, guys. When I started climbing, my dream was to climb Everest without oxygen. 2016, when I came to Everest, I rescued a climber from 8,450 meters alone in 1 hour 45 minutes. Okay? Everything what I have done in my life within the special forces is you always do the homework. You always do like what went wrong and what went right. And what are the lessons learned. For me, at that point, climbing this mountain was not about the ego. As long as if I can help somebody else, I was happy with them. And that became my ethos. That principle exactly happened on Kanchenjunga. We gave our oxygen and we started conducting the rescue. There are so many climbers around the world who call themselves solo climber, who call them alpinists, etc., etc. There were more than 40 climbers at Camp 4. Okay? And me, Migma, and Gesman had climbed Kanchenjunga straight from the base camp, having not slept for almost 4 days, climbing continuously in Dhaulagiri. We begged for help for more than 11 hours. Nobody came. It was a situation where, my friend Gesman started developing a frostbite. By this point, we had lost one of the fellow climbers because we ran out of the oxygen. Okay? Gesman went down. Migma is probably one of the strongest Sherpa I have ever climbed with. Okay? Even he started, feeling the signs and symptoms of haze. Now, there are only me, Migma, and then 2 guys. The oxygen was about to finish. The only way was to get down to Campo and seek for more help. I'm going to keep it short, guys. Out of 3 people who started rescuing there, only 1 was alive. At this point, I didn't want to do anything with anybody else at Campo. I just had tears in my eyes. I just went back to base camp, called for the helicopter, and I went to Everest. If I'm being completely honest, it's such a huge story. I can only tell 5% of it, guys. Okay? I'm going to move into the next phase. So this is the, you can see the image is from K2. K2 is known as one of the deadliest mountains in the world. Okay? I climbed 8,000 meter peak of Nepal in 31 days. And people were saying, oh yeah, because there's a helicopter, people, he goes to base camp in a helicopter and he climbs. You know what? I climbed 8,000 meter peak of Pakistan in 21 days. Okay? No one has ever climbed all the mountains of Pakistan in a year. So this is K2, and I think it's a very good learning point for everyone here as well, so I'm going to cover it. So when we come to K2, this was the situation, okay? 90% of the people had given up. And the footage who we have here is a Myclone, he's one of the guys, who I really, well, he's the one who I look up to. I think he's badass. He's an ex-SF operator as well. So we'll just play the clip and have a look.
Hi, my name is Michael and I'm a professional explorer. We're currently in K2 at the base camp and we've tried our first summit attempt and unfortunately was unsuccessful. Nimmal arrived last night and that brought some excitement back into the base camp. I think a project as the 14 summits in 7 months is an amazing project to actually spread the word of mountaineering, spread the word of adventure, and spread the word of a community in Nepal called the Sherpas. I think is a legend. If somebody can pull it off, Nimmal can pull it off.
Yeah, so obviously 90% of the serious mountaineers have given up. Those who were at the base camp were sat there thinking that Nimmal and Project Possible team gonna come up here and then they're gonna fix the lines. To be honest, the only climbers I respect in the world are my Sherpa brothers. I had looked at their videos and honestly, it was crazy, The avalanche took off the 2 guys who were fixing the lines. The snow was so deep. And if I'm being completely honest, it was the first time ever where I had doubted my ability. Okay? I was just scared. And then people were asking me, like, yeah, Nimmal, what's the plan? Okay, we fixed the plan. I still remember I was in the tent, didn't really sleep well because I was concerned about the risks that I'm taking, not only for me, for my team as well. But you know what? How did I overcome this fear? When you go for the selection for UK Special Forces, you have the guy who think they are one of the toughest from army, parachute regiment, the Gurkhas, the commanders, the Marines, and from all this regiment across the British Army, there will be like around 200 guys who come for the selection. Okay? And sometimes out of 200, only 6 people make it. If you listen to those 194 people who have failed, you will never try for selection. And that was the simple ethics. I was like, I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try it myself, and I'm going to make the decision. But I'm not going to hear about what everyone says or what I have seen. It's for me to make the decision on the ground. So So what it means is, guys, probably, I can see most of the younger generation here, there might be someone who you look up to. There would be like people who say, whatever you're doing in life, they probably say, yeah, I have failed it because, whatever the reasons. And you know what? Those people who fail, they always have excuses. Even I would have an excuses, guys, as well. Because that's the human nature. Right? But be the one who would try yourself and then decide yourself. If I had listened to, again, 194 people, how they have failed it, honestly, I wouldn't even dare to go for the selection. I was told that, obviously none of the Gurkhas had made it to this special boat service. Everyone said that, Nims, you're not going to make it because, they have all these shenanigans. I will tell you what my training regime was before I went to the Special Forces. Okay, I used to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, carry 70 pounds, which is around, I would say, 35 kg, do 20 kilometers, reach the normal base in the military around, I would say, 6:30. Then I would do the normal army work, like run with the guys and do whatever, I was at the School of Engineering, so I have to do that work. Then in the evening, I used to run 20 kilometer back, without obviously, the load. Then I used to cycle for 60 miles. Then I used to do 100-meter freestyle. I have never been home before like 10. By the time I have dinner and went to bed, it was almost midnight. And that went for 6 months. I never said it was snowing. I never said it was raining. Because you know what? When you say that you're going to do this, it's all about giving 100%. Because after doing a week, you want to have a rest. But have you really given 100%? It's one of the stuff that I truly believe in. And you know what? If you make the habit of giving up, you will always do that. So guys, if you say one thing and you decide to do that thing, just go for it. And if you fail, you fail it, but give 100%. So yes, K2. Eventually we went up. We managed to set the fixed lines. And here's a little clip from Karina. Karina is one of the TV presenter in Brazil. She is like, badass woman. She does skydiving and all that kind of stuff. So let's watch her.
We tried the first summit attempt. Nobody could make it. All the teams are just leaving base camp right now. Nims made it here. And when he got here, he brought all his energy, he brought all his strength, he brought all his joy, all his optimism. And he thinks he can make it.
Made it to the summit, and we made it not only for us, we made it for everybody.
So guys, submitted K2 when everybody gave up. Submitted now 11 8,000 meter peak. I don't know, I think it's 92 days. And I get into the internet and all, there's almost nothing. There was a gap of a month, okay, where I had planned to have a family time, where I had planned to have a holiday, guys. Again, when nothing came out in like press as it should have, I just got my flight to London. And from the point I landed in London, I didn't went home for a week. I worked with the PR, I worked with everything to get the whole thing out. Because, again, a lot of people had faith in this project. This project was never about me. And I think if I'd gone for a holiday or whatever it is, I would have never given 100% in this project. Okay? People have given me 10 pounds, 20 pounds from wherever they are. It could be nothing for some rich guy, but it could be something for him or her. And managed to get a bit of, noise about the project. And I think we, as a Nepalese family, we are also very, very poor. I think our judgment, needs to be improved. If this project, up to this point, was done by an European or American, this could have been probably 20 times bigger than how it is. Every day I'm fighting. Every day I'm making noise. Why? Because it's for us. Went over there in London, sorted out all my stuff. Then I heard about, Sisapangma being closed. So Sisapangma, this year it was completely closed by the Chinese government. Landed here, and every day, in a day, I was at least meeting 4 ministers. Okay? It was crazy. When your vision and your goal is not about you, when there is no selflessness, when it's not about the race or caste, when it's purely for the human endeavor, the whole of the mankind would unite. And this project was a true example. Every friend from all over the world wrote a letter to CTMA, the government of Nepal, got engaged with the government of China. And you know what? China is such a powerful country. It doesn't matter if it's US, Europe, whatever it is. If they say no, they would say no. But they said yes for this project, guys. And I still remember, I had never have any emotional evolution on the summits. But when I was climbing on Camp 1 and all, obviously my friends don't know it, but the amount of hard work from climbing at the same time, doing the rescue, there was no funds in the project, so I was guiding at the same time as well, dealing with the politics from the minor level to international level. It was crazy, guys. Honestly. And how could I give up, guys? I will represent the Gayakas. I represent the Nepalese climbing community, which are the best in the world, and I represent the special forces. And all these things was in my head every time when I struggle, Yeah. And again, it was all about giving 100%. There were so many negativeness, as well, but you have to think positive. And what I realized is, guys, doesn't matter what you do in this world, there's always positive and negative side. Discard the negative, get your target. If you truly believe in that, just keep moving forward and you'll smash it. So, without my team, the project would have never been success. We started climbing as a team, but now we're brothers, we're family. Okay? You can see on my right, Lakpa Dendi. He has got an amazing dance move, guys. If you probably when we get the feature film out, you'll probably see his move. Mingma David. So Mingma David, please stand up. He's here. So, guys, have you seen Mingma? Yes. Is he? Yes. Mingma, you standing up? Look, guys, see how short he is. Right? But he's one of the strongest guys I have ever worked with. He is the youngest guy in the world to climb all the 14 highest mountains. Okay? He has done more than 200 rescues above a 1,000-meter peak. Okay? This year, he was awarded as a Sherpa of the Year. Mingma Bhai, thank you so much. It's been an absolute honor to climb with you. And yeah, thanks for everything. So now we've got Galden. He's another young guy. He's gonna be. Bigma has the record now. Probably in 2 years, he's gonna be the youngest guy. Okay. Then on my left, we've got Dawa Sherpa. He's the youngest guy. Well, Bigma broke his record, but he was youngest then to climb all the 14 highest mountain. He was a base camp manager, amazing guy. Then next to his left, we got Inasane, and again next to left of me is a guest man. The project didn't only break the record. The project didn't only establish a paradigm shift in perception of human potential. The project didn't only highlight the capability of Nepalese climbers, but also this project gave an opportunity for all my brothers to summit at least 8,000 meter peak. So what does this all mean, guys? I was born in a village. I didn't even have a flip-flops. Okay? Then I joined the Gurkhas. I flew the submarine. I have probably done some crazy shit that you only see in the movies, or you can't even imagine. And to this point, what does this mean? You don't need anybody else, or your rich father, or anybody else to achieve your goal. You just need to be there. Sir, ladies and gents, I'm going to conclude my presentation here, and I think, as it says in Nim's word, it is time to celebrate the power of possible. Thank you.